Grand welcome to everyone. Let us start today's session with a small prayer. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. Today we are here to discuss another important topic. 1, 2, 3 R. And so 3 R mindset. This topic is coming up in our regular series of E to E, evolve, elevate and evolve and elevate. So we keep things in mind that what topic can be really very practical for this age group, which is called as 15 to 35, because it's a age where you can really create your dream world. That means you can do something which is very, very fantastic, which is very unique of your own. Yes, so therefore today's topic is first reflect, refine and resolve. Reflect, refine and resolve. So let us first understand, in this whole beautiful creation, and we all can definitely agree that this creation is very, very unique and beautiful. Yes, in this very unique creation, there is a fantastically and a very distinct, unique thing which we can understand and which we can observe. You may ask this question, Swamiji, what is that? This is human body, mind and intellect. Because of this human body, mind and intellect, human beings are called as crown of creation. Human beings are called as crown of creation. Now, you will again have this question. You may have this question. What is that? What is so great to call this human body, mind and intellect as a crown of creation? Yes, let us now just think about it. So here starts our journey in a topic called as reflection, called as reflect. Okay, so this human body, first we have to understand what capacity we all have. What capacity which we have, which is not actually there in other living beings. This is a first point to be noted. What is uniqueness in this human body, mind and intellect? What is that uniqueness? Let us start. The first and foremost is we can walk on our own legs, and that's really a very unique, because no doubt our so-called as years and years, युगों से जो कहे जाते हैं कि हमारे ancestor रह चुके हैं, say that which is called as the monkeys, even though they try to walk, but they can walk only for some distance, but not forever. But human beings can walk on their own legs. And this is a great, unique characteristic of human being. Second important point. See, our hands are all open and our fingers have also a particular shape. So we can do a number of different actions with our hands and with our actually the so-called as what is called as the fingers as well as this portion of our hand. Think about it. I'm just giving you some points. Okay. Then, what is a simple example? We can write with the fingers. Just imagine how beautiful. We can paint with the fingers. Okay, just let me give this much example because this topic is very beautiful and we are going to see many beautiful features about it. Hands, legs, I have talked about. Next important point, that we can speak different languages. My God, how unique, and the unique of human personality or human beings that we can laugh. See, this is a very unique that we can laugh and we can have a great joy on just by understanding some words. So this one has to be very clear about, oh my God, yes, let us know about it. Okay, then what is there more unique? This, we can sing different, different songs, different sort of poems and so on. Human beings can dance, and that too a different varieties, different so-called as this is called as the break dance, then tap dance, and then called as Bharatanatyam, then the cultural and very traditional dances and the Western dances and whatnot. Okay, this is also very unique. Next uniqueness, we can build a house. Wow, and stay in a beautiful house. See, we can build different beautiful monuments. And how many beautiful monuments are there today in India as a heritage today? We must, go and see as much as we can. And let me talk something more unique of it. And nowadays, which is very, very famous, we all can build our body muscles. And now, last few days, there is a great joy in the whole world. So rather, particularly in India, because one of our Indian girl has really gone to that level and made a great difference in the whole universe by becoming Miss Universe. My God, just imagine. So this is all about the body, which I have just, spoken in a very nutshell. So we all must know, oh my God, this is the uniqueness which we all have. Okay. Now, second important part of this is mind. Please now focus on this mind, or let us focus on this mind. What actually the mind is? So simple terms, we must understand mind is nothing but flow of thoughts. Mind is nothing but flow of thoughts. And thoughts are of different nature, which we call it as emotions. So human beings through our mind can have a different emotions, can understand the different emotion and can really give different emotion too. And both the understanding as well as showing different emotion, both are very unique feature of our mind. Then what? then mind has lot of likes and dislikes. That's also a unique thing of a human being. Mind, please understand, is a center point of our life. Mind is a center point of our life. So it is correctly said, as your mind, so you are. As your mind, so you are. Please mind it well. So this mind, which is so unique, now let me give the great unique feature of it. This mind, if we with our right efforts make it positive, then this mind can be our best friend in life. Please let me repeat. If with our right efforts make this mind completely positive, then this same mind can be our best friend. But, Swamiji, what is that then? But if our self-efforts are not toward right direction, if our focus is not towards positivity, and if it turns to negative, then the same mind can become our worst enemy. Same mind can become our worst enemy, and that mind really ruins the life of a person. It can ruin the life of a person whose mind is negative. Okay, how many different examples, n number of examples you can see. In Ramayana, the best example of negativity is Shurpanakha. And I don't have to tell the story of Shurpanakha. Then her own brother, Ravana, and so much of negativity. So that's the one part of it. And now also there are n number of criminals and so on. If their mind becomes negative, then they ruin their life. There are n number of examples of positivity. And one of the famous example, that one who has turned one's own mind from negative to positive, and that's called as the Mahabharata Arjuna. One who has listened to a right thing, one who has understood the right way of thinking, one who has understood the right knowledge, has turned one's own mind to the great positivity. And that mind, which was positive for Arjuna, made a lot of difference in his life. And today we understand Mahabharata Arjuna is one of the best character, one of the best valorous, so-called as fighter, and the captain of the whole army. Okay, this is something about the mind. Now, let us put something about the intellect. This intellect is fantastically unique. Now, just understand how it is unique. The first and foremost is uniqueness of human intellect from the other beings is we can discriminate between good and bad. We can discriminate between good and bad. We can gain the knowledge between good and bad. One should be able to understand this. It is our capacity. It is within our capacity that we can gain that right knowledge, where we can develop this capacity of discrimination. And everyone's duty is to gain that knowledge. This is a very important thing. Everyone's duty, it is to gain a knowledge. Somebody asked me this question, that see, that if somebody does not have right source of a knowledge, then how he will gain the knowledge? So I told, this person. See, my dear, look at the human race. For the sake of money and for the sake of food, how do they travel to the different continent even if it is required? How do they gain so much? How do rather they do so much of effort to acquire the food and to store the food? How much they do a right sort of efforts to do farming and so on. Now, this is all for the food and the wealth. Now, similarly, we must understand that as we deliberately make lot of efforts to gain the food as well as the wealth, similarly, we should do deliberate effort to gain right knowledge, because it is available. We have to reach to the right source and we must get it. It is our duty. So nobody can say, oh, I do not know where to get it and where not to get it. If you search, if you rather have this wish, desire to gain it, you will get it. Because it is not difficult. There are n number of people, there are n number of sources through which you can gain a right knowledge. Okay, so this is a uniqueness, that understanding what is right and understanding what is not right is this is the uniqueness of human intellect. Then what is there? Next is, through intellect and through the discrimination, we have a unique quality called as choice. We have a choice. They see different important point in this choice. We can have a choice over all gross thing of the world. Let me give an example. If you go to the restaurant, then you have a choice to eat what food you want in the restaurant, because there are a lot of things available. But you take up a menu card and you choose whatever you want, whatever is suitable for you. See, this is called as choice. Similarly, if you go to the mall to purchase some beautiful jacket or a pair of jeans, whatever you think about, then you have a choice with you. Nobody can make you compulsory or make a compulsion to buy what they want you to buy. No, you have a choice. Similarly, there's a choice in all other gross things in this world. Please note it and think about it. Okay, the next important point about choice is the subtle part. Where is the subtle part? In our thinking. See, we all have n number of thoughts with all of us. Some are positive, some are negative. So it is a choice to select a thought and to act on it. Please note it. It is a choice, that there is no one who does not get a negative thought. But knowing this is negative, we should be able to drop it, or rather we drop a number of times and select a right thought. And we all have done it and we keep doing it also. Please think. So this right choice is there. My dear friends, now this, what I'm going to tell you, is extremely unique. Human beings can discover new things by right observation and by right reflection. Like, the apple was falling from the apple tree years and years and years together. Nobody could understand why. But one person who understood it, and then he gave this great principle called as the gravitational force. How it is? It was not known, but he reflected over it, he observed it, and then he could understand there is something called as gravitational force in the earth. Therefore, everything which falls under some area or under the, what it called, a few miles of this earth, it falls down on the earth alone because of its gravitational force. This is called as discovery. Now just imagine, this is called as discovery. Now, what is called as discovery? That which is there but not known, like Archimedes' principle. Like it was there always, but that person understood that the amount of weight which goes into the water, the same amount of water falls out of the container. And that's how he could give this great principle, Archimedes' principle, and so on. So, my dear friends, this is a unique of the human intellect, called as discovery, power of discovery. Now, power of invention. This is extra unique. This is something most unique. How is it? That which is not there, then with our right so-called as thinking, very subtle thinking, we can format it, we can really create it. And what is that creation? The most efficient, most useful, and most what it called as today's the best, which we understand as called as this technology, computer technology. Just imagine how today through this computers, through this different gadgets, we can connect all over the world. Just imagine. Just imagine. This is a fantastic invention which this human intellect has really brought into this universe, which wasn't there. Now, again, a cell phone and everything is also the same category. That's called as invention, which wasn't there and which was a great creation of this human intellect. Now, how it is fantastic that we can get what we want by right way of thinking and by right action. If there is a right combination, then we can get whatever we want in our life. That's a uniqueness also. Last but not the least. Swamiji, what is that? See, we all make mistake, but we can definitely improve upon our mistake and stop repeating our mistake with right intellect. Let me repeat it. See, we have this capacity to first understand our mistake. Then stop doing it. And next, not repeat it at all by any chance. So, this is what a glory of this body, mind, and intellect of human beings. Let us not forget it. Let us not forget it. This is called as reflection. This is called as reflection, to understand that we all have very great capacity of our body, mind, and intellect. Therefore, let us use it correctly. Let us use it correctly to have an improvement in our life, to have great different achievements in our life, in whatever field we want those achievements. Okay, next important point. See, this next important point, which is called as refine. We all know and we have gone through this refinement a number of times. Let me give an example. So, a simple example is a diamond. A diamond, which is very precious stone, is found in a coal mines. Now just imagine, a diamond is there in the coal mine. So, a diamond, when it is there in the coal mine, and if you get it out of that, it is not of that value. Just imagine and pay attention to this example. This diamond, which is crude now, which does not have that value today because it is crude. So now this crude diamond, which goes into a processing called as factory, or which is called as a great research lab, or which is called as a refinery, or called as refinement unit. And there they do the research. What is the structure? What is the quality? And so on and so forth. As the quality and as the structure, they start giving that diamond a right shape. So it has to go through a difficult cuts of the machine. And when it get refined through a right process, the same diamond which was crude, which did not have that price, now gets transformed after refinement to a very, very valuable, and you can say a price less. That means a very great value it gains. How? Because of the refinement. Because of the refinement, the value has increased. And this is how we all have to understand. We all have to go through all refinements. Please understand. This body requires n number of right discipline so it can give its best. Similarly, mind requires to go under complete refinement so it throws away its negativity and brings the positivity in it. Please understand, this is very extremely important. So this one example I gave about the diamond. Let me give another example now. See, another example is today's example, which I was thinking. When this something called as coronavirus hit the universe, hit this world, we all were in dark. Means nobody knew what it is actually. So when it came, there was only one possible thing. Let us stop everything and first start knowing what it is. Please note it. When something was not known, what the world did? Stop. Complete stop. The world was stand still. And during that stand still positioning, they have internally started working very curiously on whatever available information and trying to find out the right so-called as diagnosis. So with lot of study, with lot of reflection, with lot of refinement, they could understand this, what is there, so-called as virus is this virus, and this has this characteristic. And they first started understanding the treatment line could be this. But you and me today know how the treatment line is changed from last 2 years and what is there today. Please note it. It's a fantastic example. It's a live example in front of us that how something comes, how we can understand, how we work upon it, and how we develop right things to protect it. Protect all of us from this great danger of a new virus. Okay. So can you understand now a crude form and a refined form? A very simple example, we all sometimes see an advertisement, oh, crude oil and refined oil, and have a refined oil. and keep your heart healthy. I'm not trying to advertise any refined oil, so I did not take a company name at all. But understand, this example is to only make you sure that this is how there is something called as crude form, and this is called as something and refined form. So please note it. We all, when come to this world, has no doubt a different capacities, has no doubt uniqueness, but we have to go under this process called as refining oneself every moment to moment. And this will give us a fantastic so-called as transformed form. Okay, now next step, which is called as the last step of today's topic, which is called as resolve. Resolve. What are the different steps in this resolve? When you reflect correctly, find out what is the difficulty, then you have to search and you have to take a right action to grow in that field, or to grow above whatever difficulty, or to grow in our capacity to overcome that difficult situation or difficulty, whatever it is. And this is called as resolving it. Okay, let me give a simple example, because a number of people are there from school, college, and also some are working. So first, for the school and college, if by mistake somebody does not get a good percent or fails in one or two subjects, that does not mean that's the end of life. Please understand. Okay, mistake is done. Reflect over. What is this mistake and why did I do it? Then we could understand that it is because I haven't put my right efforts. I haven't used my full capacity which is there with me. I haven't given my 100% at right moment, at right time. And understand, I have to grow and have to find out the solution, which is called as, first, let us improve our discipline of life. Because whenever there is a failure, understand the failure is not because of any external factor in the universe. The failure is because of our own lack of capacity to get what is required. Please understand. Why is it so? Because what we did not get, somebody got it. Please note it. What we did not get, but somebody get it. That means it is possible to get it. Please note it. Please note it. There is possibility to get it. And therefore, only we have to find out what is a right means to get it. So, this is how we can actually gain what is required by right resolving thing, by taking consideration of right reflection and right refinement in our life. Then, decisions. Resolve is connected to right decision. See, this right decision power depends on the right knowledge what we have. Because decision without the knowledge, it is absolutely a very sort of difficult situation. Let me give one example of this Mahabharata Arjun. He did not have that right knowledge, and therefore he got stuck up. And when he got stuck up, he started thinking with his very limited knowledge. What was limited knowledge? He started saying that how can I kill all these people? Because they're all my relatives. Now he has forgotten what? At that moment that he is there on the battlefield, not to kill someone, but to first and foremost establish the righteousness in the society, because he is representing the king, or he is the king. Please understand, this is an example. So therefore, his duty is to understand righteousness should be there in the society, and if somebody is doing some wrong things and creating unrighteous, so-called as all wrong things in society, then it is duty of a king to punish that person. And even if he does not understand, then the rigorous punishment is required. In a way, in our society also, if somebody premeditatively does something very wrong, which is called as murder, or something like that called as criminal some act, then the direct so-called as judgment is to hang that person. It is there. So please understand what I'm trying to tell you, that it is possible to understand and resolve the thing when we have the difficulties, we have the problems. So I took an example of Arjuna in Mahabharata, who started saying all sort of negative things, who did not understand the situation correctly. So what did Sri Krishna Bhagavan gave him? A right knowledge. Please understand, no miracle is done for Arjuna. No miracle. And we all, most of the time, have this sort of illusion. If some miracle happens, then I will get it. Oh my dear, please understand, don't remain in this false illusory idea that someday some miracle will happen and I will get what I want. No, this is called as very wrong way of thinking. This is called as very wrong way of understanding. So what is required? Understand what I require, what I want to achieve. There is a right means to gain the information. There are right so-called as guidance available to do a right action and then get what really required in our life. So this is how we can gain what we require in life. That is called as through a right decision. And last but not the least, complete transformation is possible. Complete transformation is possible. I can give you one example of this person, one who was born in a very poor family and not really had sufficient resources with this person, but with his right contact, with his right vision, with his right approach, with his right self-effort, this person from this so-called as poor background, poor resources situation has grown to the President of India position. And you can definitely understand and guess whom I am talking about. None other than Sri Abdul Kalam ji. Just imagine from what state of his situation in life, what he has reformed himself and gained the highest position in our country. So my dear friends, we all can do this if we have right approach towards our life. If we understand what is the glory of this body, mind and intellect. What is the capacity, what we all have, and we are all underusing our own capacity. Therefore, to grow in our own capacity from the standpoint of mind, from the standpoint of this body and from the standpoint of intellect is our duty. And for that, self-effort is the way. So let us reflect, refine, and resolve whatever we understand is the crude form to the refined form or the transformed. Okay. So this is what I wanted to share with everyone whosoever are there today on this platform of Chinmay Yuva Kendra. Here we all discuss lot of different topics, and then always there is a choice or there is chance to ask the questions. And now I would ask all the participants, if they have any question, please you may ask. And it's my request that if you have to ask the question, don't just put it in a chat box, but you can ask directly that Swamiji, I'm so and so, whether you want to open your video or not, that doesn't mind. But you can directly ask me, introducing yourself. Yes, please ask if you have any question. I would
Swamiji.
be happy to answer. Yes, please.
Swamiji, my name is Mamta.
Yes, Mamta.
Sir, I have a question that you told about if you don't get anything, then that means that there is a lack of capability. But Swamiji,
Lack of capacity.
Yes, Swamiji, lack of capacity. But
Yes.
Swamiji, when I work hard in my exams, like I get not that result which I want. Like I work really hard, but I don't get the same result. But then I try
Mamta,
again.
can I just give you a 1 minute pause for your thing? Let us first, I understood. So, see what I said. See what you want, somebody else got it or not? Yes or no?
Yes, Swamiji.
Mamta?
Yes,
Somebody
Swamiji.
got it or not?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yes. So what I wanted to achieve, somebody definitely achieved. So what is a direct understanding that even if I have put up my best, which I understand it to be the best, but there is someone who has better capacity, some who has done a better effort, and that's why that person has achieved it. So therefore, let us not get into any other sort of thinking that is this because of my destiny, or is this because of some curse of someone? No, let us be very clear that yes, today if I do not get it, that means I have to work more hard to achieve it. And therefore, let us not insist on particular result if today you do not get it. Accept it, because once you accept, your mind and intellect becomes cheerful and it is ready for the next, even bigger step. Is this clear, Mamta?
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
Thank you. Anyone, please ask.
Hariom Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, my name is Tanu.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to ask why we feel sleepy when we are study.
Why we feel sleepy when we study. Right? Tanu?
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay, that's a quite good question. See, mind likes something and mind dislikes something. Right? Likes and dislike. Now, I give a simple example. When we observe or when we watch a very great movie which we love to watch, do you feel sleepy? The answer is no. We don't feel sleepy. Now, if you want to go for a trekking, and that's the best trekking, so-called as a track or the area where you really want to go and do it. Do you feel sleepy? No, not at all. what I'm trying to tell you, that if you develop a right interest in whatever you would like to do, then mind does not get into this sleepy mode. But if your mind is not ready, and if it's not, sort of having that sort of great feeling about it, then that mind wants to switch off, and that's called as this sleepy condition. Therefore, slowly, we have to make our mind ready by slowly improving our time duration of the study. And one who starts from the beginning of the school or college and every day starts studying, that mind becomes very firmly connected to the study. Because more time, if the mind does not have this habit of study, then it cannot take it up all of a sudden. So therefore, slowly increase your time. This mind will give you a good sort of friendly support in your actions. Is it okay, Tanu?
Swamiji, but this happens usually when we are tired of whole day, like going to schools, coming back, and then after that going to tuitions and all that, finding no time to study whole day and just to study at night.
That's what I'm telling you. That if, then another point is, if you're too tired, then also the mind will sleep. So therefore, to take a right so-called as rest is also important. Because if you work, the mind gets exhausted. And then again you want to put more stress or more efforts if you have to do, then it wants to just switch off. So therefore, this balance between our action, that is called as the action, which is called as a field action, which is called as going to the school, going to the college, as tuitions, and this subtle action, sitting for study, we have to balance it. And then only it is possible that your mind will support you in your studies. Okay?
Thank you, Swamiji.
Yes. Anyone else?
Pranam Swamiji.
Yes.
This is Piyush here. I just want to continue with the discussion where you said that waiting for something, a miracle to happen, and then it will not happen. So, what happens if we get to know that we are doing everything in our power and still we are not able to get it? I am thinking that as you have given the example previously, that you can ask somebody who has achieved that. But if the subject is not something achieving something, but rather than like others have also not achieved that, so how to go about it?
See, point is that if it is achievable, please know it. I'll give an example. See, Swami Vivekananda Maharaj, somebody asked that you are such a brilliant person. You have such a great personality. You have such a great family background. Why are you becoming monk? Why are you wasting your life? Where there is no certainty that you will get the realization or not. Swami Vivekananda said, my dear, I have this confidence that if somebody is in that position called as realization, somebody who got it, that means it is achievable. So he said, if one person can realize in this world, 1,000 can realize in this world, and so I. Similarly, Piyush, if it is achievable, then one must understand that it's only a time duration. But if you consistently, with a great determination, start doing it or start following it up, I am sure you will get it. But we cannot say when. Please understand. When you develop that capacity, when you develop that sort of called as subtle understanding, which you develop that sort of intellectual mind capacity, you will get it. And that's what I can say. Is it okay, Piyush?
Yeah, Swamiji, here I just want to ask
Yeah.
that whether it is achievable or not, that is an uncertainty. I'm not sure about it. But how about to go about this balance, that whether to let it go or to keep following? That
See,
is the thing I'm confused.
first and foremost, we should able to know that it is achievable or not. The first and
It is a,
foremost, that's the important thing. If somebody says something which is not achievable, if it is not achievable, what is that? Uh, a person can imagine that I should be there in Delhi and as well as in London, as well as in America, as well as in Africa, as well as in so-called as England, and keep doing different action at different places at same time. So I'm just giving an example. Okay, Piyush. So this is called as beyond imagination and it is not achievable. I just gave an example to make you sure that we must able to understand something which is achievable and something which is not achievable. Now, another thing I would support or I would like to add here, there is a possibility of discovery as well as invention. Today, it might not be, so-called as possible, but who knows, tomorrow it is possible. Like I spoke about the discovery as well as invention. Years and years, that law of gravity was here but not known. So somebody who was that subtle, was somebody who developed that capacity, could make whole world understand this is this. Similarly, the inventions are also possible, which is not there, but creating something which is very different. But it takes its time, it takes its own effort, and it requires its own capacity. And that much I can say.
these
Is
are
it okay?
exactly. I wanted to focus on the second part only. And I
Yeah.
was thinking when I was listening to the first part that I'll quote Heisenberg uncertainty principle, but then you already mentioned it. But at the same time, Swamiji, I just want to ask you, it is all about the time. And we all know that we have limited time. And that is when we have to realize
See,
what
point
things
is
we
what?
can.
See, we have framed a limitation because research, if you understand research, it's a continuous process. So a same research when somebody cannot do because of his body, mind, and intellectual incapacity, somebody takes it up and takes it forward. Then from there somebody takes it forward. Yes or no?
What about
So
the
it is
first
called
question, Swamiji?
as a great sort of chain. Similarly, today we may not achieve what we are really want to achieve the highest, but that does not mean tomorrow nobody can achieve that. Tomorrow, with right effort, with right reflection of whatever we have done, he will use that and achieve it. So my point is, let us not be pessimistic about the thing, but let us be completely optimistic and give a right time to it. What happens? We have limitations. What is that? That this should be achieved in this much time. Otherwise, I cannot do it. And that's how it becomes so called as then, called as a negative approach. Then it is called as a limited approach to the thing which we want to achieve. Okay. Any other question, please?
Hariom Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, I have a question that how can we control our emotions?
Okay, that's very good question. See, how can we control our emotion? First and foremost, we have to understand, why should I control my emotion? Is this clear?
Yes.
Why should I control emotion? So first, let me speak on this. If I do not control my emotion, I get dragged away by it. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Then, when I get dragged away by my emotion, then I fall into a trouble. Yes or no?
Yes.
And therefore, I don't want to get into a trouble. Their requirement is to control emotion. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Next important point. Instead of this control word, one has to understand grow above. What is called as grow above, or channelize it towards a right direction. These are the two important aspects of emotion. Somebody should be able to know that I can channelize my emotion towards a better sort of action, or somebody should be able to know I can overcome my own so-called as limited thinking. So let me just give channelization of one's own sort of emotion. I will give some example from the Ramayana. So there was one person called as Ratnakar. He was a dacoit, and he had a lot of anger. He had a lot of so-called as called as burning emotion for different sort of injustice done to him. And therefore, he was killing people. Therefore, he was doing all wrong actions. He met one person who is called as Narad Muni. Then he gave him a right direction. Now just imagine, what did he do? He had so much of capacity. He had so much of that emotion. He completely channelized it towards Sri Ramji. And taking his name regularly, he became from a dacoit a Maharshi. Just imagine. He did not control emotion here. What did he do? He channelized emotion. Now, next example I'll give. Arjuna did not channelize. He overcome. He could overcome his own emotion by right thinking. So what did he do? He dropped those wrong thoughts and taken up a right decision for right action by right means. So therefore, we should be able to know, either I should be able to channelize it towards something which can take me to a greater heights, or with right information, I should be able to grow above it and take some right decision in life. So these are the two aspects about controlling the emotion. Is it okay?
Yes. Thank you, Swamiji.
Yeah.
Swamiji,
Yeah.
I
And
was
yeah,
having a question
yeah.
that
Name it. Who is this?
Swamiji, my name is Mamta.
Mamta, bolo.
Swamiji, as you told that in both of the stories, they has proper guidance. One had Narad Muni's guidance and one had Lord Krishna's. But in our life, from whom we can get proper guidance and control our
That's
emotions?
nice. I mentioned this in my talk, that it is our duty, as we develop our capacity to earn money, as we develop capacity to gain our food. Similarly, it is our duty to find out the right source and gain the right knowledge. I'll tell you, there is no sort of situation or a place or a country or a town where you cannot get a right guide. Only you have to do a right effort and search and get it.
Okay, Swamiji. Swamiji, one more question, please.
Okay.
As you mentioned about limitations of everyone's like mine, how we can extend that limitations. Like my limitation, I work really hard, but how I can extend that?
See, very crude example I'm giving. It's my experience. Huh? See, when I joined Sandipani Sadhanalaya Vedanta course, Vedanta course that is called as where you learn all scriptures. Got it?
Ji
That is
Swamiji.
Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, and everything. So before that, I was teaching in some college in Mumbai. Okay. And I lived a normal life as everyone lives, like youngster, everything. So from one part of life, entering into the another part of life, right? Totally different. So when I started this Vedanta course, in few beginning days, what is to happen? My mind is to always keep singing some filmy songs. And that was actually not good for that sort of Vedanta study. So what did I do? That was a limitation now. But I gave my mind this ultimatum. Oh mind, it's fine. If you want to sing filmy song, you can. But one song, if you sing, then one mala of Bhagwan's name, you should take it up. And I tell you, Mamta, in weeks' time, my mind dropped that filmy songs and grown out of that limitation. Similarly, you have to find out what can I do to remove that limitation where I stuck up. Is this clear?
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, so let me say thank you to everyone, and I enjoyed today's session. Hope this session will give you a different sort of vision to understand the subject. Over to Prabhakar.